Okay, so we just got the Anderson Composites. Obviously, you can't see anything right now, but the Anderson Composites carbon fiber. It's like a duckbill spoiler for the S650 Mustang. It's packaged really well. Luckily, the box came with no damage. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tape on this and see what we got. Well, they wrap these things up pretty amazing. It's it's in this foam, in a bag, and bubble wrap. And it's good they do, because, find it here, got somewhere here. The edge actually, can't find it, but it poked through, this edge had poked through this foam into a plastic bag, but you can see it's fine because of all the other packaging. So it's good that they package it up that way. I'm sure they've learned the hard way a few times. Now this is supposed to be UV inhibited gel coat. They say that on Anderson's site, so I shouldn't have to clear coat this. It should be good to go. May throw some ceramic coat on it, but we've definitely got some work ahead of us. There's a kit here for some more weather stripping. I remember watching some of the installation that I think you're supposed to, I don't know where you're supposed to put it on here. There's a couple of spaces on here you're supposed to put this foam, so I'll look that up. I don't see any instructions in here, but we're gonna go ahead, there's plenty of videos out there, but we're gonna go ahead and pull the factory deck lid. I think mostly in this one I'll just show if there's any issues beyond what a lot of the online instructions or videos that are out there already have. Here's a view of the top of this thing. It's really nice. Pretty excited about it. American Muscle would be the place to go to get this. I think they drop ship it from Anderson, who's owned by Saibon or however the heck you say it. And so there was a little bit of a hiccup where it said it shipped, and in fact it hadn't. It was kind of stuck with a label created. So I was a little concerned. I contacted American Muscle. They ended up canceling the order, refunding it, and then the thing shipped like 2 days later. So I'm gonna have to work with them to obviously pay them for this. They're still tracking it, and I'm not gonna try to get something for free. So this thing's real nice, and they don't charge for shipping on this, and just about everybody else charges a couple $100. So this all said and done with Arizona taxes was like under $900. So it's a pretty good deal. So we got the trunk popped open. So the panel we're gonna be removing is this guy right here. It extends down here, has the camera in it. Got to start off by pulling the little closure bumpers. I think you got to take this cover off too. I'm guessing it just pops off. And then I think you can either just drop this like trim liner or whatever the hell you want to call it by popping these two, but I'm going to take all the plastic clips out and just take the whole thing off. I think there's a bunch of hardware you have to remove from in here, and I'll show that, but I think I'm going to shove like paper towels or something in so it doesn't drop into the hood, but we'll show that when we get there. Okay, and so we're learning. I'm sure a lot of the videos online, especially from the manufacturer, from the places selling it, their stuff's already been taken apart a few times. So right here, when you're trying to get this little plastic cover off for the trunk latch, it frees up pretty easy from the top. At least on mine, I had to stick a plastic pry tool right in here, these little tiny guys, right between the plastic and the latch, and pull down, and that freed it up so I could actually get it off. So in case you're having trouble, get a tool under here, pop this down, and it should come off. Okay, so now we got the trim panel off. There's a nut there we got to take out. There's one in each. Let's see if I can find them. There we go. There's one on each side. And then I think that's it. And then these little guys here. So I'll get the sizes on them. This is where I think in here I'm gonna stick some kind of paper towel or something. I may just run a towel from here over, just so in case I drop those guys. That's really gonna suck to get out. So it looks like these nuts are 11 mil. You can see I got a microfiber in there, hopefully to save myself if I do drop them. On my luck, I'll catch it and I'll still drop them, but we'll give it a shot. So we'll get these nuts out, and then we'll move on to these. I'm not gonna throw it out there right now. These are probably like 7 mil or something. We'll move on to those after we get these nuts out. Okay, so we got all those nuts out. They were 11 millimeter. Try to use these, like here's the hole for the stopper. You can use the other hole, use this guy in here, just to see what you're doing, guide it out. I only used a 1/4 inch drive, that's all you needed. And then once you break it free, just use your extension to take them out and just work it slow. We're gonna move on to these guys on the edge. And then I think the real fun part will begin, trying to peel off this tape that's under there. So these guys were 7 millimeter, and none of this hardware was really tight. I guess that shouldn't surprise me, given that this is all, you know, just hold on plastic essentially. I'm gonna tuck this little guy up in here somewhere, the emergency release thing, so I can bring this down, make sure there's nothing in the way. Oh, here comes the fun part. We're gonna work on pulling this deck lid off. I think there's adhesive double-sided tape in here and in here for sure. So I'm gonna see if I can pop it free. Then I'm probably gonna get a moving blanket or a towel or something to put on here so I don't scratch it. Because once you get it out, you got the camera line, you gotta pop free. So I don't wanna bang stuff around. See what happens. Okay, it's hard to show because I don't have like a real camera set up here, but I got it off. Actually, it wasn't too bad. You got to get your fingers under here. This adhesive right here is what got me. It wasn't even stuck on this side. This side just popped right off. This side, yeah. You can see I got some cleaning to do before I attempt to fit the other guy. But getting it's amazing. It's a brand new car and it just looks like crap. Anyway, look at that. So to get these off, have your pry tool handy. The metal ones help. This little white guy was a pain. This one came off pretty easy. And just get your gut up against it. Get a rag wedged between the top or the bottom portion of that panel and the deck lid, because then you can just rest it right on it. It works out really well. So you go ahead and start cleaning here. So I got it cleaned up best I can. There's a little bit of residue here, but it's just stubborn. I may try a little bit more to get that off, but everything's cleaned up, and we're gonna go start transferring whatever parts need to get moved over to the Anderson wing. All right, now we need to transfer parts. So we're gonna have to take this bracket off. Those look like Torx. Figure out what those are. Take this bracket off for the camera and slide these studs off on either side. And I think the Anderson has hardware for these too. So I think these guys just pop off. Oh, there's the other one. I gotta get camera view. Pop off. So those are gonna go over to this guy. Figure out which side. I think it's gonna be these. And then we're gonna take all these guys off, put the camera in here. And then I think I've got to run some foam up in here. I'll figure that out in a minute. And we're not too far off from putting this back on the car. Okay, so those camera Torx bits are T15, and you're looking at 4 millimeter for all the hardware on the Anderson wing. So we're gonna go ahead and start swapping parts over. Real quick, the camera hardware is 3 millimeter, the other hardware is 4. Okay, so we got that camera mounted down with the 3 millimeters. I wouldn't use more than a hand driver. Don't use a wrench of any kind. This is composite and fiberglass holding the threaded inserts in, and this thing came out with very little hand torque, and it has locking washers, so just tighten it till it stops. So we're gonna go ahead. I think we're gonna go ahead and figure out where the weather gasket goes first. Okay, so here we're at. Here's where we're at. So I added a little strip here. This bottom one that would go around the trunk lid was already there. I had another one on the other side, and then I ran this corner all the way up inside, so I get to focus. Doesn't want to, inside that lip. The instructions said, not instructions, what instructions? Some of the dealers' installation videos said to put it in these like notches in here. There's plenty of foam tape. I ran it all the way across the top. Figured, what the heck, let's just run it all the way. Didn't make much sense to put it in the gap because the high sides would still touch before anything else. So I almost wonder if they meant put it on the high sides. But either way, I just ran it the whole way and ran it through there. and there's a little bit left, so I utilized most of the tape there was. So we're gonna go pull this hardware. It's 4mm factory hardware that came with it, or hardware that came with it. Got these guys in. This one's a little sloppier factory bolt than this one. I may, depending on how that aligns up, I may have to file a little bit of material out of there. We'll see. So far, so what? Okay, so the honest assessment of installation. Sorry, I couldn't help the evil laugh. It lines up really good. Yeah, it looks a little tighter on one side than the other, but hey, it's a Mustang. We gotta pick something up real quick. But yeah, it's the Mustang, right? So I may try to get that a little tighter. I haven't closed it all the way yet. Apologize for not getting video, but holy shnikes. It's not as easy as they show on the interwebs, of course. And your mileage may vary. I had a heck of a time. I think this was slightly out of alignment, the threads and the spoiler. This fastener was a real pain. I still did it with a hand driver, so I don't feel that I would have damaged anything, but before I button it all up, I'm probably gonna fire up the backup camera. I wanna let everything sit a little bit, probably move it around a little just to make sure that it's all situated well. I gotta hide this little lever for the trunk pop, because I wanna close it. And then maybe, there we go, closes. And give it a couple pulls either way, see how it aligns. But yeah, it closes. Here's the gaps. Sorry, I'm moving the camera around a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna push on a little bit here and there, but so far, really like the way it looks. I think it was worth the challenge just getting it on there, but we're gonna go try the backup camera, make sure that all works. We'll fiddle around with this a little bit more, just try to get all the screws set, and I think we're done. So we're pretty much done. I'm just kind of letting it sit, just to kind of settle. There's every time I let it sit for a few more minutes, it has a couple more, not even rotations on the threads, but a little bit more. So yeah, I managed to forget a fastener when I was putting it together. Luckily, it went in easy. It's the guy in the middle. I really had to get everything else aligned before I got that one going. I think it was a little bit, and who knows what it did, pushing the fiberglass around, but I think the alignment of those the slotted bolts may have needed a little bit more love. I filed it a little bit to try to help, but it's possible it needed a little more love. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna keep kind of coming around, tightening. I don't see it. I ran these probably, I don't know, a few minutes ago. Let's try it again. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, I think we're getting there. This screw right here, that was a nightmare. And I didn't use a ratchet or anything, just used the hand tool. I think that's gonna be your safest bet, not to destroy any of these inserts, pop them free. So reassembly in the trunk, self-explanatory. Just put everything back, the pops back in, little cover there. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got a great look. I think it really, helps complete the car. Check the reverse camera. Luckily that works. That would have been a bummer after tightening everything down. I think it makes a big difference. Let's get a little bit over to the side here so we can get a better view. Pardon my dirty garage, but yeah, I think it adds something. Personally, I like it better than the Performance Pack wing. I didn't go with Performance Pack a lot because it wasn't available, but at the end I saved quite a bit of money. Probably about $8 grand, and I got wheels I like better. And I was able to put the catch cans in, so those hopefully will be all good. It's a Ford Performance part. Hopefully they won't give me any hassle about it. In all their literature for Ford Performance, they talk about having it installed by a Ford tech or ASE certified, but it doesn't really talk much about the catch cans. I think they're under dress up, so hopefully I can't imagine them giving me an issue. It's actually helping the engine out. But I've heard on some of the forums, people have had issues when they put a different spoiler on and they had a problem with their taillight.
and one dealership tried to deny it. Ultimately, they got the warranty honored, but it's crazy. You pay all this money. Sure, if you tune the car, I get it. I totally get it if you tune the car. You know, or do anything actually to the engine, right? Intakes, arguable. But, you know, if you didn't put it on right, maybe it sucks some dirt in. I guess I could say that about the PCV hoses, but it's definitely pushing their luck. Also got the shifter in there like I did another video on. Starting to run out of things to do right now that are warranty friendly, so to speak. I'm gonna get my tint redone because it's hard to see from here, but there's like pieces of rag in there in places, which kind of sucks. Wait for the good places is what I can advise. But anyway, pretty happy with it. So maybe do a follow-up how everything holds together. But if you want one of these, I think they're pretty tasteful. It's not too bad going on. Watch your walls when you take it out. I almost ran in, almost damaged it, but I lucked out. And my drywall gave in before the carbon fiber did. I drug one of the edges along the wall. It's a little irritating, but no harm, no foul, so all good.